Welcome to Land Your Bet Sports Betting Live Show. See people in the comments already. Appreciate you guys. John's already in here. I'm already sharing my screen. We got Props Madness up. I would get to some WNBA if we can, but I mean, obviously we know why we're here. We got Game 6 NBA Finals, so we got to look at these player props together. Hopefully you guys checked out the episode that was up last night. Yep, came out last night, and you can get some of that stuff up. I see some people already have some stuff in their parlays and whatnot, but go ahead and jump in the comments with your bets, and we'll go over that stuff together as we look at Props Madness here. For those of y'all jumping in, if you don't have Props Madness yet, use code LYB if you want to sign up. This is, I mean, especially if you're getting into the W. I know the NBA is about to end, but if you're getting into the W, there is no better product here than Props Madness. So happy to answer questions about it too. If you guys have it in the comments, I'm gonna get in there and start starring some of the stuff that you guys are bringing to the table so we can look at it. John's already in here saying he's waiting, so we might as well get into it, right? You got McConnell, PA, OB, PRA, SGA 30 plus, and then the under on the PRA. And then Chet right there, under assist. You put it all together, plus 5,200. All right, little 52 to 1 on your money. Let's get it today. And then McConnell, you got best bet on the series, went 12.5. Yeah, 18.5. So yeah, that for which one's that? My best bet of the series on McConnell went from 12.5. I'm not sure which bet that is, but yeah, all the stuff from McConnell is obviously going up today. What's up, Reef? Happy to have you in here, bro. You got Caruso under on the RA. Let me star that one. Take a look at it. So come back to it. And then looks like Orlando's all over the Benedict stuff today. Yeah, we can take a look at Benedict Mathurin. Happy Benny Mats Day. We'll see if he comes through for a lot of people that I bet are going to be betting on him. You got him 5-2. Benedict 5 2-pointers attempted, 5 2-point field goals attempted. I like that if you're looking at that somewhere else, unlike one of the DFS sites. Vikram's coming in with the PRA under for Miles. Yeah, I think you got to be going under on Miles if you're talking about playing anything from Miles Turner. Let me start that one for later. JDub over on the RA. So that'll be a little zag, right, on the Zig because he has been going under on the RA very, very consistently. I know a bunch of people, including JK, Hannah, not Hannah, in the VIP was talking about under for JDub RA consistently, but let me take a look at it with you. Indiana's +6 now, is +6.5 for a while. That brings me to a good point real quick. If anybody comes across anything that has news relevant to Halliburton, just interrupt everything we're doing here as best you can and let me know because I want to see if we get any kind of updated news, and it looks like we're not getting anything yet. So if something does come up, let me know. I'm going to keep Twitter open so that if we get some of that stuff, then we can look at it. But let me see what else we got. Dort under PRA. Yeah, I feel you on the Dort under. Let's look at that. The JDub stuff, like on your own head, be it. I've learned my lesson 3 games in a row. I just didn't go under on him last game. I've got a few overs early for him, but I think Benedict on the 15 plus. Yeah, we're gonna talk about him. I think we got to get to that. So if you're getting Dort under 12.5, that's a big alt line, right? So I don't know if that's gonna be worth the price for Dort, but if you're getting 12.5 under, I got to imagine that's at like what -350, something like that. Not gonna be a great net, but if you add it to a parlay and you like it like that, then yeah, I mean, I don't think he's getting 12.5 points. I'd be going under on the like 8.5 points. But what's up, Just Drayson? Good to have you in here, fam. Doug, SGA. Yeah, I mean, look, the odds for this aren't quite what I want them to be. The best number I could find was +280. This is something that I was like, if you're not getting +300, +350 in that range, I got to be a stickler about it. You got to make the cutoff somewhere. And just because I like the bet, it's a narrow margin, right? Like you don't have much room for error on this type of bet. That's why you should be getting 3 to 1 or better on it. So if I can't get that, then I don't know if I'm with it. But 18 plus, I'm not mad at it. Big day for Benedict Mathurin in my opinion. I bet the 15 plus for him. So I'm going to get that stuff on the bottom line as soon as I get a couple more in here. On the PA, so I'm actually in the boat here of SGA points, not assists. That's partly why I keep going with these like parlays of the negative correlation, right? With him to get points, but not to get rebounds and assists, or at least not to get assists. He had 15 last game on 10 potentials. Let me at least star it for you. I'm talking about it already, but let me even just talk about that one real quick because it's so fresh on my mind, which is like SGA last game, 15 potential assists. We did start to see them double team. And all series before last game, I've been harping on the fact that they are not doubling him. They're letting him do his thing. 15 potential assists on 28 passes made, right? You see the passes made number right underneath the potential assists as I'm hovering over his stuff from last game. 15 potential assists on 28 passes made. That means more than half of his passes are to a dude who's taking a shot or driving to take a shot because they're doubling him, right? That's the only way that happens, is the defense becomes super imbalanced onto SGA. As soon as he's like even crosses the 3-point line, he's about to see a bunch of defenders. I don't know if Carlisle's going to do that again. I knew he could mix it up at some point from what he normally does, which is never double team. The point here is I'm more talking about the assists for SGA than anything, because I think the points is just not a number I want to play. 33.5 points alone by itself, just as like a core bet, it's not something I want to play. Even for someone like SGA, especially with the usage increase for Jalen Williams, who I don't think is going to stop. Maybe they'll key in on him more, but they can't take away both SGA and JDub at the same time. I think they'll keep taking SGA away. I think they would prefer to have JDub have to beat them once again. So yeah, I wouldn't be fading JDub necessarily, but that was more a conversation on the assists here for SGA, and then putting the points and the assists together. I wouldn't be doing that as like a bet to the over for sure. So all right, I just kind of skipped the line just to get to that one, because I thought it was at least a good conversation to have around SGA when it comes to points and assists. I don't think he's going to do both of them. That's for sure. Let's see. My boy's back, Tim, with the free throw bets. 5 free throws over on Pascal. 5.5 over free throws for JDub. Yeah, I think both these guys are going to keep getting to the line. I totally see what TP's seeing here, which is starting with JDub. Dude has just been aggressive, right? 12 free throw attempts, 11 free throw attempts, 11 free throw attempts. That's been the last game. He even had 9 when he only scored 19, right? He just wasn't shooting, and he kind of stopped shooting. But yeah, even when he had, it was just the first game that he had 4 free throws, looked kind of timid, looked like maybe this moment was going to be a little bit too big for JDub, and it has not been the last 3 games. And you can definitely correlate the uptick in points and everything, confidence as a result of everything, to those free throws that he's been putting up. 12 of them in the last game. Maybe you think there's going to be some referee nonsense. I'm not going to bank on that. I just think both these dudes are good for the free throws as well. And then Pascal, like, he's not going to stop the aggression. So he's at 8, and 6, right? If you need Pascal to make 5.5, it's a little scarier. The Pascal one to me is a little bit scarier, but he's going to have a high usage rate. There's absolutely no doubt of that. If he's hitting 6 free throws, that's what scares me. Once he gets to 8, I love the over 5.5. And he has gotten to 8 in the last 2 games. This 5 for 6, like, I expect him to go 5 for 6 is my thing. So Pascal's a little bit riskier. Hopefully you get a little bit better money on that, TP, but always good to have you in here, my G. Chet gets more points and shots up on the road. Interesting. You like his field goal attempts. Let me just take a look at that real quick for Chet. And I want to do this for the playoffs more than I do for the whole season. So let me go to splits here. No, it's not these splits. Where's playoffs? Playoffs, not head to head. Let's look at, we're looking at free throw attempts, or what is this? Shots, just field goal attempts. FGA for Chet. So we've got him at about 12 in the playoffs overall. If we do this by home and away, at home he's at 11.3, so slightly more field goal attempts on the road in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, for Chet, I'm not going to be fading anything other than his assists, and I'll get that up in the bottom line in a minute. This I got at minus 144, and it looks like that's gone to, if you can get minus 150, I still think minus 150 is playable for under 1.5 assists for Chet. He's just not even getting potential assists, so I don't know why we'd be too scared of under on the dimes overall. Here, he's gotten it once in this series. He's averaging less than a potential assist, I think, in this series. 0.8 potential assists per game. Hard to get 2 assists with that many potentials. So I like actually under on the assists is my favorite bet for Chet. But let's start getting into it. I just want to see. I got a couple more that we can look at here. I'm going to bring up Siakam. So let me just start this so I remember to do that. But I don't know if I'll be backing him too much in this one. Let's see. We got a Toppin look. I do want to talk about Toppin. I don't know if you can trust Aaron Wiggins. Just a quick cap on that. That's really it. I don't know if you can trust the minutes for Aaron Wiggins. So I'm not sure if I'd be going over on that one. Let's see. I got most of this in here. I don't think we have a TJ look, but Jolene just brought up TJ 4.5. Yeah, I think 4.5 or the PA for him, but let me get to that in a sec. Can the Pacers win? I definitely think the Pacers can win. I think they can win without Tyrese tonight, to be honest. I mean, they're going to even be decent, but let's see. Yeah, and then we got the Nemhard look here. Let me at least get him in there so we can look at it. Is it Brothers and Zarba tonight? Where's that at? Hold up. Is this yeah, if that is the crew, I mean, they don't mess around. Like, they're not going to give you like ticky-tack calls, to be honest. They're going to just kind of be like, yep, keep going. Sorry that you got touched there on that shot. Like, just kind of keep playing. So I don't know if we're going to see like quite as many fouls as when we got Scott Foster and company in there, but if that is the crew tonight, they definitely don't call nearly as many fouls, not known as the extenders. All right, let me get into the start comments here so I can look at it. Let's get into Caruso for a minute. I don't have a bet for him, but the RA as a whole, rebounds and assists. The thing is, we know he's going to be playing minutes, right? And so we look at this series right now. this is the one I would care about most because this is where he's been playing high 20s. All before this, he's playing low 20s in the minutes. Honestly, I don't know. Was this a better bet before the head-to-head? Other than the Grizzlies series, yeah, he has not been getting the RA for sure. And then let's look at the head-to-head. So we're just looking at the finals. First game, 8 rebound chances, 6 boards, 2 potential assists, and 2 assists. You don't expect that to continue. The potential assists in this series are 2.5 per game. That's less than his season average where he was playing fewer minutes. So in fewer minutes, he's getting less potential assists, but he's getting more rebound chances. And it's mostly due to like a couple games with 8, 9, and then he had 10, only 3. Yeah, I could see the under on the RA. I agree with that bet for the 6.5 for him. I mean, I think he's going to be out there for so much that it's difficult for me to bank on him. These are kind of like minute stats, especially the boards. If he's out there for enough minutes, I do think he's better for the boards. So I still think this is a good look. It's probably not one I'll be playing just because of the volume that I'm going to see from our boy. But yeah, as far as this goes, Orlando, like let's just talk about Benedict Mathurin for a minute. We got to take some of this with a grain of salt because the only thing we're going to find here on Props Madness right now is that if you take Tyrese Haliburton out, he's going to play. Like let me put that out there. Tyrese Haliburton's going to play. And maybe I should have kicked off the show with being like, hey, y'all, welcome to the show. I think Haliburton's going to play. And I just don't know how effective he's going to be, but I'm almost positive he's going to play. As long as he can walk, he's going to play. This is not what we should be looking at. I just want to make that clear. I'm showing you what not to do right now, which is just go to Props Madness, take Haliburton, put him games without Haliburton to see how Benedict Mathurin does. This is not an accurate representation of how Benedict Mathurin is going to do in this game. He's not like averaging 21 a game is because he's playing, what are the minutes at here? 34.4 minutes per game during the regular season without Haliburton. It's the playoffs. After a while, like this is not just the normal minute rotation, right? He's going to be out there, I would expect, with Haliburton out there still playing. I still have him at like the 20 plus minutes, right? And that's what we care about with Mathurin is he getting 12 to 15 minutes, or is he getting 20 plus minutes? And he played 22 in the last game with Hallie still out there for 34. I would put Haliburton at 30 to 35 again. Like if he can play, he's going to be out there for 30 plus. And then that's not leaving quite as many minutes, but I think we're getting 20 for Mathurin, and Haliburton's not going to be up in the like high 30s essentially, which does help us get a few more minutes to guys like Mathurin, to guys like McConnell, to guys like Toppin. Those are my 3 favorite bets for the over here. And for Mathurin, like the usage should be high. He's such a crucial player to this. And honestly, 11.5 points isn't ridiculous for Benedict Mathurin as a prop if Haliburton was completely healthy in this game at home in a situation where if he's hitting shots, he's going to be out there. And I think he's going to have the opportunity to do that. Still took 11 shots last game. So the volume is the reason that we like Benedict Mathurin and the need for that offense and a guy who can create offense by himself because Haliburton might not be able to do it quite as much. All right, Sam's coming in with a zag. Let me also just give a quick reminder to go ahead and give the video a like if you would. Super helpful for everything we're doing for the live. And I am going to start getting back just 2 days in a row without the WNBA episodes, but we're going to get back to those here as soon as we get after Game 6, and hopefully we're going to have a Game 7. But finishing up with just getting to JDub. So for JDub, let me give you the bets that I put down for him real quick. I got back into the first quarter. That's my cap for JDub. The numbers I played are gone. I got minus 114 on the over 5.5 points. I got plus money on, this is still available. It's only on 365 right now. There might be a couple other books. I thought Bovada had it, but maybe it's not on Prop Builder anymore. Either way, I like the first quarter stuff for him, man. I no reason to believe that the 10, 11 minutes that he's played in the last 2 first quarters are going to go away, because what they've done is they've started to take SGA out in the first quarter more and play JDub more, right? So real quick, first quarter minutes in the last 2 games, 10 and 11 minutes. As I said, SGA comes out. He's got about 3 minutes on the floor in the first quarter where he's the number 1 dude without SGA on the floor. That's because they want SGA fresher for the end of the game, which has worked. Honestly, he's been a lot better in the fourth quarter of the last 2 than he was a couple games before that. So you get the minutes increase for him. Look at him during the season as a whole. All year, his quarter 1 minutes are at 8.3. During the regular season, they were at 7.4 because the rotation was different. It was SGA playing like damn near the whole first quarter and JDub not playing as much. They weren't worried about it, but now it's not that, right? Even in the playoffs, he was at 8.3 minutes. But now I think we put him at double-digit first quarter minutes, especially with some of that time with him as the number 1 option for this squad. So my favorite thing for JDub is the first quarter props, mostly the points and the rebounds. Not going to fault you for taking the dimes, but I think that the points and the rebounds are the better look for him in general for the game. That's my preference for him. The thing about the over on the RA would be I don't trust the assists that much. Even 4.5. I mean, the potentials last game were 8 and I think this is 7, right? So that's the last 3 for him. In this game right here, he got, let me make this bigger. Come on now. Where are we at? In game 2, he had 6 and 10 in game 1. So other than game 1, he hasn't had double digit potentials. I would like him to be averaging about 10 to feel comfortable about over 4.5, especially for like that nasty money right there. The assists help the 10.5 RA continuously go under. So I think if you just want to play something over for him, just play the rebounds. That's my cap on it, is that the assists, I don't think he's getting doubled. It's still going to be him out there alongside SGA when they're playing together. SGA is going to get doubled. He's going to be the first pass out of the double team consistently, like he has been in the last 3, at least last game especially. So the assists I don't like. Rebounds I like. Points I'm not going to be fading him at this point either. So I think points and rebounds are the best play for him. I would be leaving the assists out. That's where I'm at with JDub. Let me get some of this on the bottom line for those of y'all coming in late, so we can at least not ask the same questions if you can avoid it. Hopefully, if you're coming in, you can check out the bottom line. What I've talked about so far: JDub over Q1 points / over Q1 reb. Who else I talk about? SGA, I didn't even really give a cap on yet. Although I did say I don't like the assists for him. I didn't say that. I said I don't like both points and assists together. We talked about Benedict Mathurin. I'm playing him. So, I mean, I'll let you all know here. Benedict Mathurin over 11.5 points. I did play the 15 plus as well. I'm sure plenty of people are going to be doing that. So, all right, that's scrolling on the bottom line, especially if you're all coming in late. You have some questions. That's where you can find it. Let's get to Dort. 13.5 for Lugens. Where you at, Lou? Lou Dort on the road. That's really what the cap is at the end of the day. He spurned people here in game 3, people being myself included, when he went 4 for 5 from 3, motherfucker. But if you look at him in the road in the playoffs, right, that's what this cap is. We go to away playoffs, 5.9 points per game, 1.3 threes per game. Now, what you could do is go over 1.5 threes, under 7.5 points. How many times has he done that? So the points he screwed up in this third Denver game, first Pacers game. Let's see if he got the threes. Yeah, so just not those 2 games. So he's actually only done it in like 2 games in the playoffs on the road. Probably not worth it. I think you just fade Lou. PRA as a whole on the road. Yeah, this is at 9.4. I mean, look, if he's not getting the points, he's not getting the PRA. That's for sure. So however you want to play it, if you can get 8.5, yeah, if you can get 8.5 to the under, that's beautiful too. Then you might even be able to do a little bit better, like a over 1.5 threes, under 8.5 points. But if he's not hitting threes, he's probably not getting points. So PRA, fine. Points, fine. However you want to play the under for Dort, that's where I'm going. It's just what the numbers tell you to do. Mental thing, maybe it's a mental thing, because I can't believe the ridiculous splits that he has between home. And if we look at this home and not away, we're more over here. Give me this home. It's 15.3. So he's like doubling it. It's a nice increase. 9.4 to 15. That's a serious increase, right? 66%. So yeah, I would be going under on Dort. I'm with you on that. Siakam. I don't know. It's a tough spot to take an over on Siakam. So if you're asking for alts, I'm going to tell you right now, I know people don't want to hear this. It's not smart to be taking a whole bunch of like reduced unders, reduced alt lines and putting them all in a parlay and being like Siakam 15 plus points, Halliburton 10 plus points. Like, it's just mathematically over time, not the way to do it. So I'm going to just put that out there when it comes to the alts right now. For Siakam, I can't really abide by like an over on the over on like alt overs, basically like 30 plus points or 10 plus boards. Like, I'm not really there with it. I still think we're getting value on 6.5 boards. That's like and the assists, honestly. Wow. This was last game this was plus 130 for 4 assists. So my point here is yesterday's price once again is not today's price, right? And if once I start feeling like I'm paying a premium, even if you're like, look, Siakam is in line for a big game tonight, that's great. How big? Like, and just because you say he's in line for it with the spot doesn't mean that he's going to come through on overachieving to this degree. Like 20.5 is probably a fair line. 19.5 is something that I'd be playing. Assist 3.5. This, like, I would take this at even money, not minus 140, right? And then you talk about the boards. This is probably my favorite look. The assists were up there with it, but now that the assists are at minus 140 for him to get 4 of them, I can't condone that. Now, the rebounds, he's still out there to get like 12 to 13 rebound chances in 35 minutes. So 7 boards is still like a very, very good number for him overall against this team specifically, like not necessarily in the playoffs as a whole, as you can see. So especially if Obi's out there stealing boards, by the way, Obi Toppin, better rebounder than Miles Turner. Obi out there over Miles means fewer rebounds for Pascal. So all of it's a little bit tougher. He should be, even when, if you're talking about the volume for him on the shots, right? Like points wise here, shot wise here, 8 free throw attempts, 15 shots. Hitting 60% of your shots, not something you want to depend on that much. So if he's only taking 15 shots, man. And that's the last thing I'll say here about why I'm just like not high on Pascal for this game is like, this is one of the only dudes who, when he's without Halliburton, doesn't increase anything, right? This is per 30 minutes. Right. And so let's say he's going to play 36 tonight. Like, let's give him the benefit of that. He'll play 36 minutes tonight. So this is probably like 21 per 36, probably about 6.2, right? Rebounds per 36 minutes. And then the assists, maybe you say like 4 per 36 minutes. But these are all his averages per 36 without Halliburton when he's playing with Nembhard. That's what I was putting out in the video last night. If that's the case, and that he's going to be on the floor with or without Halliburton tonight, it's the same stats. So there's no real like, oh, Halliburton's out, Siakam does way better. That's not who does way better, right? The guys that I showed you in the video that do way better are the bench players I've been talking about. It's Mathurin, who goes way up. This is a little bit inflated, but it's still a noticeable difference. McConnell, obviously, when he's playing without Halliburton, which is pretty much the whole time that he's playing, we're looking at like 19 PA in 30 minutes of action. Dumb this down to him playing 22 minutes, 20 minutes. This is still like 8 points, let's say 2.5, 3 boards, and then like 7, 8 assists still. So he's still getting way above his line. Overall, he's probably about at like 17 PA per like 20, 25 minutes. Still good with that. So those are the guys that do a lot better. And then Obi as well. Obi's one more dude that he's basically at, look at the points, rebounds, and the dimes, right, without him. So Siakam, Nembhard, last one I'll show you, don't do that well. They just don't increase what they do, which does make sense because this team is reliant on Halliburton in some ways, but at the same time, everybody's touching the ball. Everybody gets involved at different times in the offense. Nobody stands in the corner and just waits for things to happen, other than kind of Nesmith. But so that, like Pascal, it's too high at this point for me to be taking anything for him. So I'm not really backing too much for Siakam tonight. All right, we got Toppin. And then you also have SGA here, it looks like. So Toppin PR and then SGA steals and blocks. I think you can just take the whole kit and caboodle for Obi. I ended up going with the PRA. I do think he's going to keep playing more, especially without Halliburton. Turner's less useful. Like Miles Turner's the fade, Obi Toppin's the over, at least according to the numbers, which again, Miles Turner does not go up in stats without Halliburton, which makes sense. If you look at the games that Miles Turner has played, and this is a direct relation to Obi, by the way. Like I like Obi in part because I don't like Miles, and so Obi's minutes should stay at 28, 29 minutes. 27 should be about his floor, is what I'm expecting for him, and how much they need his skill set with a hobbled Halliburton, which I'm just going to double check if we've got anything here. Still nothing. Okay. But if anybody does get that Halliburton news, for the love of God, please let me know, even if you have to say it like 10 times. Let's see. All right, cool. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. All right, looking at the Miles stuff. So Miles without Halliburton doesn't go up, right? Let's see. Miles, no Hallie. Kind of a futile exercise here. This is kind of pointless because I like I said, I think Halliburton's playing. I'm very confident in that. But even the Miles stuff, if you look at him on the season, 0.5 point per game fewer without Halliburton. A lot of green here because these props are low because it's the playoffs and he's not averaging as much in the playoffs. Bad spot, not as many minutes. But yeah, a lot of these teams can't even guard centers, by the way, like the Bulls or the Hawks, to be specific. So yeah, this is not a good spot for Miles. It's a better spot for Obi. That's why I do be like an Obi. SGA on the steals and blocks. I know a lot of people playing that this series. In general, I'm good with it. 2.5, you're getting a little bit crazy, right? Like what? He's not doing that every game. I guess this series he is. He's not doing that every game. Pause. -115 or so is the best number. It's the 4 blocks. Like I have 3 blocks in the game. Yeah, fuck it. I mean, the hit rate super good. Obviously, you probably were getting this for plus money closer to the beginning of the series. But I'm good with that for SGA. Sorry for slurping in your ear. I'm good with that for SGA. Let's keep it rolling to TJ. Yeah, I think the assists are still like once you get to 10.5 points for TJ, you're getting a little bit high. Last year, though, like 9.5, 10.5 points in the playoffs was pretty doable consistently for him. This year, there's a few more guys like Benedict, Mathurin getting out there, a few more mouths to feed. But I think TJ is still going to be out there for at least like he played 19. Let me get back out here. Let's get back to the playoffs. He played 22 in this last game, 9 potential assists, right? I think we got to get him back to 22 minutes. I still like the points and assists the most. You can still get the 14.5 on DK is gone. But yeah, I still think 15.5 is playable for him. You're getting really high. Man, it's tough to get there with it, but I do think the assists are the best look there. And you can still get, flat -110. So, yeah, I'm still on over on TJ. I don't think we should be expecting like 18 points or whatever he had last game. Necessarily. But the fact that if in 22 minutes he's putting up 14 shots, that's what I need to know, right? The touches are super high for him. Talked about that a ton. He's going to be super involved. At home, he's a little bit better. So, yeah, I'm still with the TJ stuff. By the way, at home in the playoffs, a little bit better. Home on the points, 1 more point per game. The dimes, a little bit better on the dimes, but the points and assists, like 1 more per game, 2 more per game at home in the playoffs. So back at home, big game. I think TJ is going to come out big too. So I do like TJ there. Nembhard. Nembhard's so dependent on what's up with Halliburton that it's tough for me to bet on anything to do with him. Halliburton, without Halliburton, he will be the point guard. I think his minutes will stay super high. But the other problem is like he's guarding SGA, man. You can't tell me that has not taken shit out of him. So the rebounds and assists we've been going under on. Now you can get this to 8.5, which is nice, and you get it basically like -122 is a good number here. Under 8.5 on the RA. 8.5 is a good number. But the problem is like, so actually, let me look at the regular season games without Hallie. The problem is he's at about 7 assists per 30, whatever. So like his stuff does go up, right? By like about a 1 RA per game without Halliburton. Again, I do think Hallie's playing. So the RA is still an under, preferably for me for Nembhard. He is just so quiet at this point. What did he take last game? 8 shots. Just quiet, man. Like you can't really depend on much for him. His job is to guard SGA. So I'd be going under for him as well. But Wiggins, I just don't trust. Just that simple. It's so random when he's going to get the minutes. And if he's getting 9 minutes, then I don't know how you mess with him. 22 minutes versus 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 21 minutes, and 9 minutes. That's anywhere from 8 to 21 minutes. Fuck do you do with that? Like, I don't know what to do with that. I'm probably not going to bet on it. That's for sure. So I'm out on Wiggs. Like, if anything, last game he did well, so probably not going to do well this game. I have no pattern here to be able to kind of like read what Aaron Wiggins is going to do in this one. So let me see. I'm still going to keep it going with a couple more. I'm sure we got plenty that people haven't looked at. I'm down to get into a couple of WNBA things too if we get through everything. But go ahead and give that video a like while I'm over here. Let me get back into the comments. Yeah. Let's see. Let me get back up and see if I miss anything. I know a lot of y'all like Siakam. I think a lot of people started leaving when I started talking about how I'm not going to be betting on Siakam. Yeah. So what's the JDub? What's his MVP number at? Let me get to odds. Can I get an MVP number here? Where my futures at? Got the draft in here. Is there a MVP? Player MVP? No, it's not over here. Where do I find it here? Let me just search MVP. There we go. Dumbass. Plus 700 still for SGA on the MVP of the series. Don't hate it. By the way, if the Pacers somehow miraculously won 2 games in a row, wouldn't it be Siakam at plus 1,400 if you want to just put like, $10 on that, make 140 back if you wanted something like that? Not too bad. But I think SGA plus 700 is worth a sprinkle for the MVP as well, by the way, for anybody interested in that. So JDub 40 point. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else. Pacers money. I hate this. This has not been hitting the like, oh, we're down in the series, so we come out in the first quarter and just dominate. Like, it has not been working that way very much at all. Certainly not for like OKC winning it, but let's see real quick. Leads the team in passes made in the series. Is that true? Let me look at this real quick. That would be wildly surprising to me. but I'm just going to double check. Let's see. Go to play time. No, tracking. Excuse me. Tracking data. Let's look at passing data. Let's look at the playoffs, and let's just look at OKC for a minute. Oklahoma City. Passes made. Or you maybe just mean for the series? He's third in the playoffs. We can just look at the finals. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, nice. Leading the team in passes made. Good find, Suave Profits. It does not. It doesn't, because the passes being made, I think that's what we have to talk about here with SGA is like last game, SGA, 28 passes made, 15 potential assists. So Caruso probably had more passes made than him, but are those the ones that are turning into assists, or is he just getting it, passing it back and keeping the ball moving, but really just a connector? And that's really what he is more than anything. So if he's at leading the team in passes made, right, where's he at in potential assists in the series, right? He's not even in the top 3, right, with potential assists. So that's what your passes made. I get what you're saying. That's a good find, something to keep in mind. But 39.6 passes made and just 2.4 potential assists. So what are those passes doing, right? Like the 5 assist points created off of 38 passes, not good, right? It means that his passes are really not about him driving and finding an open guy for the potential assist. It's more about him just not, him just keeping the ball moving as a connector. But it's a good point, and I'm glad you brought it up. And it's good that you're looking at that kind of stuff. Let me see if there's anything I missed here. Pretty much went over everything, honestly. I feel like, yeah, this was another look from last game, right? Somebody brought this up last game too, which was Chet on the 3-point looks here. Let's get to Chet on the threes. 1.5. Yeah, no, it's because it's still juiced. And he took 3. Like, it's just not something I want to sweat if I'm not getting better money, right? Because if this doesn't hit him, I feel like an asshole. So I can't condone the under on the threes just because the number is not there for it. So let's see. All right. I think honestly, like we need. I was really hoping that we were going to get the look here from on Tyrese, but we're not getting any updates here. So I'm gonna close it out and just briefly. Does anybody want to talk about the WNBA? I'm not loving. I'm not loving much from any game other than this one, but not sure there's anybody that would even want to talk about it. Since you brought this up, yeah, just because y'all are in here, I do like this. I prefer PR over for JDub than anything else, and I do like the under on the SGA PRA. If I had to go with it, I also was considering strongly sorry, I know I'm getting ADD on it, and I'm gonna come back to the W for one sec, but I also like turnovers for like Siakam over 1.5 turnovers if you can get it, and Nembhard over 2.5 turnovers if he is gonna have the ball in his hands even more. I think it's just more opportunity for him to turn it over. He's been doing that in the last 3 anyway with this team, and you're getting some plus money. Yeah, if you take plus 120, I think that's worth it. It's just only on DK, but I think the Nembhard turnovers, I think some of those are going to be good. So wait a second, Mike Wang. Do I know you? I'm pretty sure I know you. But we'll talk later, Mike. But good to have you in here. And wait, you've been Christina, keep losing 6. Yeah, well, we got to change that, Mike. We definitely got to change that. Let's get into it. So yeah, the W here. This is tough. So for the W, where I'm at on betting on the W right now, by the way, is mostly playing the number. It's really that simple. Like the matchups have not been as important to me this season. I don't think they've been as important to betting in terms of like, oh, is this a good matchup, a bad matchup, whatever. It's just more about the spot. And the reason that I'm assigning it to is there's 3, maybe 4 good teams in the W right now. I think the Mercury are good. There's probably 4 good teams. I think it's the Liberty, the Lynx, the Mercury, and the Fever, to be honest. I think, and I'll give the Dream a little bit of it, but the point is once you get past like the Dream, even the Aces without Asia, like maybe when Asia comes back, there's 5 good teams, but that's 5 out of 13. And the Liberty are winning by 20 points per game at home. Had a tough one against the Dream, but like they're just killing everybody. So then it's kind of like, but I'm not getting backup props. So what am I supposed to do with it? All right. So if it's a good spot, because I think if the game is actually going to be competitive, I'm more likely to take an over than otherwise. Right. So, all right, let's see if you have anything before I get too far into it. Sure. Real quick, because I like this question. Explain the no alt parlays long-term, the math, RQ. Not sure if I know what RQ is abbreviated for, but the math either way. Oh, real quick. Nice. I'm showing my age right now. Real quick, I got it. All right. So the idea behind it is EV betting, right? So is this an EV bet? And an EV bet is basically going to be over time at this price, should I bet this? Am I going to make money if I bet over 15 plus points for Chet Holmgren every time, right? How often is he hitting 15 plus points versus how much am I making back on that when he bets it, when I bet it, right? If I'm getting -1, if I'm getting -200, -300 for him to go 15 plus points, well, I can just look at, just use Chet for a minute, right? Like for Chet, if it's 15, and this is a bad example because he's at 15.5, but let's say it's 10 plus points, right? For Chet, if I'm getting -300 on that and adding it to a parlay over time, like let's say I just bet the -300, first of all, is that going to make me money? Well, if I bet $100 and it's -300, what am I making? Like $33 back, right? So if I make that $33 back, that's not very much profit for betting $100 each time. But when it doesn't hit, I'm losing $100, which is 2 wins worth, right? 33 times 2, $66. I'm losing that. It just negates it. So over time, that's just what EV betting is. Over time, if you bet this every time and at this price, will you make money? Let's say over the course of a month or 2 months or a full season in the NBA. That's how long you should be looking. Is this going to make money? And the answer is going to be no. And that parlay is going to get ruined by one thing that you thought was a lock that just didn't hit. Now, when you hit your parlays of 6 legs that are for -120 because you're betting 6 -500 bets, like it's just not going to work over time because the -1, you see what I'm saying? Like each time you add a leg to your parlay, you've significantly decrease the likelihood that it hits more than the odds are worth. Let's put it let me just leave it at that. Every time you add a leg to the parlay, you've decreased the likelihood of that hitting a lot, a very high percentage, much higher than if you keep hitting it and it wins, right? It's just not worth it. So I probably should have something in front of me to help you to help you sort of visualize what I'm talking about here. But we can talk about that more. Hit me up on the side if you want swap profits. I'm happy to talk about it and be able to share my screen with maybe some notes and stuff like that. But all right, we're getting into this W stuff. So sorry for y'all who came here for the otherwise. But we're getting into that now because I got some stuff scrolling on the bottom line for the looks that I do like from the NBA game. But all right, we got some Lexi Hull look over here. Take a look at her. Did I miss a couple? WNBA total unders. Yeah, we can look at some totals and some sides in the W tonight. There's 2 of them, but yeah. All right, we got Kelsey Mitchell 15, Sabrina 4 dimes, Siakam 5 boards. Yeah, no, like I said, hit me up on the side too if you want to talk about it a little bit more. I'm here for it. Oof, brother. Not very many, honestly. Again, let's do this. Where's my parlay calculator? I think it's under NFL. Where are we at here? Parlay calculator. Look at your parlay calculator. This tells you based on the fact the percentage decrease that your bet hits, the likelihood percentage decrease that your bet hits. This helps you see that. So if I'm betting $100 and I'm betting a parlay of -280, right? Let's add that leg. So I'm winning $35 back if this hits. Let's do -350. So now it's this should be, according to the odds here, should still be, what is this? This comes out to -130-ish. Yeah, right. -135 maybe for this $75 back on your $100. So already it's this is I don't like many more than either 2 or 6 at that point. And it's about how much you're getting back on it. So if we put this bet down on, let's just go to FanDuel for a sec. FanDuel does a better job than, let me use a doo-doo book. DK's fucks you on these things, man. Let's find a -280. So let's say -225 on the money line. And let's find player points. Let's do SGA 30 plus. So this is right here is -120 is what it gives you. So that's actually not that bad. -265 and what's the other one? 225. So that's not that bad. But it's not that good because if we took this and actually made it this is -800. Can I find a -300 here? I'm trying to make my point, damn it. Yeah, let's do -360 and that we're at -140. So they're actually pretty close. They're giving you a pretty good number there comparatively in terms of the decreased likelihood. But either way, you can find a calculator as well that'll show you if I add this, is it worth it? Essentially, and you might have to pay for some of that stuff. But all right, I'm getting you guys are sidetracking me, but I like the questions. I'll be honest. For CC, what I ended up going for with Caitlin Clark tonight. I just took the threes. I'm continuously hunting that against the Valkyries defense here, which is guards that are shooting threes a lot. So I paid a little bit of premium, I think, but I got plus 110 for her to hit 4 threes tonight. I'm putting a couple of half unit plays down on these plus money bets for the W tonight. That's kind of what I prefer. But the CC look here for the over on the 3.5, that is mostly about the Valkyrie, right? They're going to be bad up top. They pack the paint. So that's why they're number one limiting stuff right next to the basket. They really don't want to give up layups or anything easy, but they are giving up threes as a result. The strength of their defense is definitely down low right now. And that's going to be why you see a lot of guards hitting threes against them. We took Arike the other night. It's more well, it's not really off or on ball, honestly. Took Kelsey the other night when she played against them, hit some threes. Taken this a couple times and hit the threes against them. So I would be looking at that as like a consistent play here, sort of a system play against the Valkyrie, is that the guards who take a lot of threes are going to be good for them. This has blowout potential, mostly because the Valkyries are missing so many players when it comes to the Euros. They stole a lot of their players who are playing for their national squads. I don't think this would be 11.5 if Benley was playing, if Salon was playing, a couple of players that are going to be out for the Valkyries. I think that would definitely impact things. So with this massive spread of that many, it's why I prefer just the threes. I think that's how she's going to score the bulk of her points. The dimes, this really, really, really upset me. She had 5, and this game went to shit, right? Once everybody started fighting, and then she played 29 minutes. But my fear would be she's coming back from injury. The minutes might not be there in a blowout. That's really the shortest way of saying what I just took an hour to say instead. Let's see. Yeah, John Quell I like too. John Quell boards, Monique boards. Yeah, Mo Billings hooped up last game. The boards are high though, and I guess I forgot. The Fever are a pretty bad rebounding team, but yeah, for Mo, like how many minutes she got? 34 last game. Yeah, that was crazy. I can't believe she got 34. I really wish I had taken the points last game. I'd probably be getting the points in there for Monique if I was going to be taking anything. Maybe at the PR you prefer a little bit, but I would probably get the points in there instead of just the boards. The boards are the ones that, in 34 minutes, let's see, 23 and 25. If you look at her per minute rebounding, though, you're not wrong to like 7.5 still, honestly. I can see that. In a plus matchup with the rebounding. I understand that. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you not to on the boards, but for John Quell, I like it too. It's just they're super high. This is what I talk about with playing the number. Like, yes, this is a good spot for John Quell to get boards against the Mercury. They don't limit center rebounds very much because they don't really play a center. It's like Westfeld, whatever her name is, who's playing center for them. She's like 6'2" or whatever. She's forward though. Like they don't really have a center. So I think the center rebounds against them is good. I took John Quell for a double for plus money. The points are what I'd be a little bit more worried about. They do limit stuff down low. It's like the third best paint defense, or the Mercury might even be best now. But it's because they have 3 really good forwards, right? In Sabali and then AT as well as Westfeld. So is it Westfeld? God damn it. Bear with me. I'm pretty sure it's Westfeld. They won't give me props for her, even though she starts. So I don't know how I'm supposed to remember her name. But I do like the boards. The 10.5 is like plus 115. This is probably a fair bet if you want to make it somewhat of an EV bet, where over time, if you bet this at 10.5 plus 116, you'll hit it enough times to make money back overall. Don't know if that's the case, even at plus 116. I think it's a little bit high for John Quell. So I'd probably be looking at the double, so I could sort of dumb that down. PR. She's got 6 of 8 of her games this season. She's got a double, right? 10 plus in 6 of 8, 10 plus in 6 of 8. So the 10 boards exactly 3 times also kind of deters me from loving this 10.5. So I do like John Quell in this one. And yeah, for Mo Billings, like I said, I would just be adding the points for Monique. So all right. Yeah, I by the way, just because we're talking about WNBA 2, I do like Neesmith for 1.5 threes, but not at that money. And I don't like Neesmith overall because he's so dependent on switch. This is the beauty of props madness. I can switch back and forth. He's also super dependent on assists, right? Like he and Miles Turner, both Neesmith and Miles Turner, up at like, I don't know, 45% of their buckets come off of assisted field goals, right? And that's a big part of it is Halliburton breaking the defense down and that helping Neesmith get open on the shots. I don't trust Nembhard to be doing that. McConnell, maybe if you like McConnell out there, but 1.5 threes for him at like minus 180 is just not going to be worth it for me. And then if you're getting up to 2, if he needs 3 threes, what's he doing in the finals here? 50% of the time, 3 threes, probably what, like plus 180, plus 1, not even, probably like plus 150 for 3 threes. It's why like I would prefer to play the threes than the points and everything for him. But he just feels so dependent on Hallie helping him break shit down that I'm kind of like, if anything, maybe the boards, because he's been getting so many rebound chances against him. But yeah, I can concur with this. It's once you get to 3 legs, that the likelihood of that hitting shattered. It's just so much different from 2. You go from 1 to 2, you definitely fucked yourself. You go from 2 to 3, you've way more so. Like 3, even 4 legs, those are like in the worst areas. Sometimes by the time you get to 6, it's worth it because you get the odds make it worth it. They'll give you a little bit of a bump for that. But yeah, for the most part, like after 2, you're kind of losing me. Unless there's correlation too, right? Like if you think a guy is going to go off, take and have way more minutes than he seems to be projected for, then points, rebounds, assists all combined. Yeah, I'm with that kind of stuff. But let's get to a total here real quick. So Liberty game total is at 164.5. What are we seeing with that under? I do wonder. Let's at least look at what we're scoring here. So we've got still 90 a game for the Liberty. And if we're talking about the Liberty at home, which they're at home in this game, right? Let's double check. Let's go back to the W. Liberty they're at home. If we look at their splits, yeah, so 90 points wherever they play. That's what's up. In this matchup, I think it's going to be a good matchup. I do like the Mercury's defense, by the way, as well. I'm pretty sure they're still in top 5 in defensive rating. Yeah, 4th with AT and Sabali back out there too. Yeah, I mean this defense is pretty nice. This is a tough one for me on the total for that game. I don't know if I'll be able to get there with a look for it. So, all right, getting still some requests. Let's see real quick. Yeah, that's facts. They might not have been her fault. Maybe you like I was so frustrated watching that game, and I was going back and forth with the Liberty. So I'd be honest, I was watching the Liberty a little bit more over that one. But the 6 assists in the second half also I just kind of put down to like the fighting that just started to come out. So yeah, I would not be fading Sabrina. This is still gonna be a tough game. This is a good defense on the a little bit more on the perimeter and in the mid range area. So it might be a little bit tougher for her, but I'm not fading Sabrina right now. I'm gonna tell you that. So I can get with that. The Chet 10 boards, however you want to play that to get plus money, I can get next to that. Let's see. Stop it. Let me see that ticket. That's crazy if you did. That's wild. But what was the odds on those? That's crazy. Fever team total under. Interesting on the Fever in this one against the Valkyries. Just because they score so much from the outside. Not sure how I feel about it. I have to go dig into that one a little bit more. Wait, Hallie play? Yeah, this is the question. I still haven't heard much more of that. I'm probably gonna to dip out at this point. I might want to get a couple more things in for the W if I can. I don't like fuck with that Fever game, but I do want to roll. Let me just see if JK really good looks here too from the VIP capper. For any of y'all interested in the Discord, got the link in the description of the video. Yeah, I was looking at that too. 5.5 is such a good number, but yeah, the minus 150 definitely gets you on it. And the points, I just don't trust Natasha's minutes is really what it kept coming down to. Is like, is she gonna play? Even with CC back, it's like, okay, I guess. Yeah, without CC, 26 minutes. Without her, 27. And then she comes back. She plays 14, then 26. Like, did she get fouls in that Liberty game? I just don't know when she's going to go down or up in minutes. On the season overall, she's at 24. But I would love it. It should be 27 to 28. It's just she randomly goes back down to, well, I guess it should be at 26, 27. I just don't know about her minutes. That's really what it comes down to for Natasha. It scares me with the minutes, man. Let me see. Yeah, maybe it was which one? The one of the Fever games was a blowout. Oh, when they won by 14. Yeah, it could have been. They were also just hoisting threes. But even with Bonner out, it's like DeWanna Bonner was out. I think she's still out, right? Let me just make sure I'm not lying to you. I think DeWanna is still out. I thought it was personal reasons. It wasn't even. Oh no, she got suspended or some shit. Let me see. What was it with DeWanna? Yeah, why is she out again? Yeah, she's still just personal. Okay, yeah. Not suspended. Sorry for saying you were suspended, DeWanna. But honestly, they're like a negative 33 net rating with DeWanna Bonner on court this season. Might be better that she's not out there. I'm done trying with her, man. I'm done with Aaliyah. I'm done. I like the not getting me the double last game hurt my feelings. It felt personal. 9-9, just to spit in my face a little bit. the points, some of the points, how's she not getting the ball? Like 4 for 9, fine, but 9 shots. She's not your starting center. Like, what's your game plan here with her? I don't have words. It's just frustrating to watch that when they're playing with her. So I would be going under. The reason I'm not is because I'm terrified of that. The first game I go under on her after I've been trying to go over, she just does me dirty. Her assists have been crazy, but I still can't really get the potentials unless I go in the box score and watch each play. So I'm kind of out on knowing anything about the dimes, but the dimes have been crazy for her. And this is a tough game because of the way that this, obviously, as we know, the way that this team plays down low. For the Valkyries, I've been telling you they want to limit everything that she wants to do down low, all the play types that she wants to run, posting up, pick and roll man. But Fat Benley's not out there too, so there's so many variables, right? Because Fat Benley's playing in the Euros, that would be the starting center for the Valkyries. So if she's not out there, I'm just kind of out on knowing too much about that game. But all right, I am going to let it get into a couple other things here. Appreciate y'all coming in for the time we had. If you do want to make sure you don't miss any of the bets, check out the link in the description of the video for the season pass for the WNBA. Obviously, you're going to still get the NBA bets too. So hopefully we'll have a second good night in a row here for the finals. But best of luck to everybody tonight. Going to be back with the W stuff. What's up with the W's? I didn't even look at the slate tomorrow. What's up with that slate tomorrow? 2, 3 games. That's 3 games of W. That's that's riches of games. So that's wealth. Right now, I already like the Wings more with where they're fully healthy squad than the Sun. I'll tell you that. All right, I'm gonna be back with a video for this tonight, as long as the daughter lets me do a little bit of work, just like a little bit, please. That's all I ask. So best of luck to everybody tonight. Until I see you then, happy betting.